So South Africa and the party is of both fundamentally better off since the eve of the last election. And I'm very proud of that. And having led the DA international government, I have to now make that work and then determinedly following that path. Now, any political party is never going to agree on everything. I mean, it's made up of human beings, and human beings by their nature don't agree on everything, and that's fine. It's a normal thing. I made the case to the party, and yes, there were some who were opposed, and that's fine. Just as there are people in the ANC who don't like the GNU. There's people in the Freedom Front who don't like that they're part of the GNU. But I do think that it was the best thing for South Africa, and I think it was the best thing for the DA. The country is on a much better place now than it was in the eve of the election. It's in a much better place than it would have been had the Doomsday Coalition got into power and we had just sat back. And I think our voters would never have forgiven us for being in a position to stop it and not doing it. And I think there's been an opportunity for the DA's brand to have a brand adjustment amongst voters who've not voted, first of all, and say, I haven't voted for these guys before, but I really like what Garube is doing in education. I really like what Schreiber's doing in Home Affairs. I really like what McPherson's doing in Public Works. I really like what Malatsi's doing in digital comms. And these are things that affect me and speak to me as a voter. And so the DA's been able to adjust its brand without having to change its logo or anything like that. And I think that needs to be built on, because that's where the future for the DA lies. So I have no regrets. It was the right thing for the country. It was the right thing for the DA. And I think when the fullness of time and the history of this period is written, I think there will be a historical consensus that this was the right choice for the DA to make at the time. The secret in all of those leadership stages is to put people around you who are the best for the job and who you feel can best do justice to that job. Now, I got it 99% right with this latest group of people, and I think that they're proving that in government, that they are capable and the like. And one of the opponents of just going into the GNU was Ashur Sarupan. He was not a fan of the GNU, and yet I included him in the lineup because he is a talented individual. So, I've always believed in identifying talent in people, unlocking their potential, and then putting them in a position where they can show that talent. Now, there's some leaders who don't like talented people around them because they feel it detracts from them. I have a completely fundamentally different view of leadership. I think having good people around you their success reflects on you. It's not easy to lead a party when the former leader is in a leadership position in the party. And, whether it was the media or whether it was critics always saying, Helen Zille's actually in charge, you're not the real leader. That was always a challenge. Even though you explain the different roles that people have in the party, I think, the former leader being in the same leadership team is never easy. It's like a company where the former CEO still sits on the board and the current CEO. But all of those issues were overcome. I mean, I think Helen and I worked very well together as a leadership team. We were able to get the party motivated again, and we're winning by-elections, and we grew not nearly as much as I would like to have in the last election, but it was a better result than the previous election, and that's a good thing.